we've had two different panels. Those panels have dealt with one, access to care, and the innovations in the healthcare chain, and the other one has dealt with technology. So I'd like your response to be, what are your challenges in respect of these two areas? Because if we leave you to talk about the challenges of healthcare delivery, we won't leave here. We all know that. But let's look at it from the context of what we've been talking about here. What are your challenges as regarding access to care? And what are your challenges or your deliverables? What are those things that have proved to be areas that you have been able to achieve quite a considerable amount of progress or make a lot of progress with regards access or innovations in the value chain line? And how has technology been impacted in your delivery system and in your processes, in your activities? How have you been able to achieve that before we now allow some questions from the audience? I'll start with Dr. Idris.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and thanks for inviting me to this forum. I think those have been cut down because most of the things that I met being discussed here, I think we all know about. But narrowing down to technology, I think that's interesting. I just would recollect a discussion I had with a friend last night on this issue. Where do we start from? But my take is that at least in the last couple of years, there's no doubt whatsoever that technology has a role to play. But the problems I have, I see actually has to do with people who run the system, the health workers themselves. I don't know why people are laughing, but that's the truth. The health workers themselves. I remember a couple of years ago, some people came to me to tell me that, I don't want my colleagues to take offense, but just speaking as facts. How many of our doctors are computer literate? And I got all sorts of results, and I must tell you, they're very, very disturbing. And that is one of the major problems we have in trying to even improve on the technology space in our health facilities. And the problem is when we start from, as a state government, we started a couple of years back, e-health, m-health, all the grammars we blow here. But the point is, let's take the basic thing, medical record system. I started a meeting with some colleagues of mine, people who are running the health system, health services commission. And they were busy talking about how to recruit medical records officers. And everybody was, I'm just taking it just to show you the enormity of the problem. This challenge we're talking about. Talk about how to recruit medical records officers. And I sat and looked at them for 10 minutes. And the next thing I said, my man said, are you people normal? And they said, what? I said, in this age, we're talking of e-health, we're talking of m-health, we're talking how to recruit medical records officers whose basic entrance water it is. And they said, oh, that's true, sir. But we can't do without them. And I said, you see, you can now look at the enormity of the problem. Even people you are supposed to rely on to take decisions have not even left that stage. So I think there's a need for education of people. We have to reform the system, especially all those people, and start recruiting people at a particular stage. Now, we moved forward. You said we start e-health, and of course, some people, some different vendors gave us all sorts of things, and we bought, but it didn't win now. But the point is that I look at the human resource issue involved. There's a need for building capacity at the lowest level. There's a need to change mindset of people. Even doctors, nurses, the various health workers. And of course, you need to persuade government themselves on how to put in more money into the health sector. I always take the issue of the Ebola crisis. when the problem came, I mean, before that, you need to fight government, put money on health, put money in health. The government tell you, shut up, this money is too much. And you have those economists. They tell you infrastructure, GDP, GSP, all those things. When Ebola struck, I just sat there in office. I said, you know what? I said, we need X million, I don't know, but I need the amount of money to do something. The money came. And it's in the process again now, when we said activities started going again, I started realizing all sorts of things happening, issue of logistics. You need technology for these things. These are things that are brought to bear by donor agencies who participated with us. And that's where my eyes were open to a lot of things. We have serious challenges in the health sector, human resource financing, mindset changing, so many things. So let me stop here for my colleagues to say them. Come back to that thing.
Good afternoon, my colleagues, ladies and gentlemen. I think we need to take a deeper look and make a deep dive to issues that we discuss when it comes to resourcing health. And every time we engage our partners, especially those who come from outside, we seem to present the symptoms. And so the diagnosis are usually based on the symptomatic approach we present. So today I'll be discussing the fundamentals. And when I was coming, I felt we have had enough of conversations around the symptoms in terms of what is obvious to everybody. Because while the moderator was talking, I guess everybody was just asking why this question, because everybody knows the problems of health sector in Nigeria. And my dear, I know I've spoken to them. Capacity, scope, scale, system, quality, funding. So we keep talking like as if we are broken record. But for me, there are more fundamental issues. And the basic is that we look at us as a country, what are we investing in health? Can you give what you don't have? So let's make some comparative analysis. Health system investment in Nigeria is only 3% of our GDP, 3.7% of our GDP. So what do you expect? That's how much we're investing in health. Rwanda is doing 11.1%, US is doing 17.1%, and we are comparing a system. So if health investment is 3.7% of the entire GDP, it's can't work, no? So are we investing appropriately? No, from all quarters, government, individual, everybody. So what can we expect? In fact, sometimes it appears to me a miracle. Because if per capita investment is $207 per capita, so what can $207 buy for health per person? And that is from all sources, public, private, donor, everybody put together, $207 per capita. In a population of 180 million persons. So it's like having a Volkswagen. I want to go on the highway. And you are saying, other are pressing you on the road. What do you expect? So what do you expect? I had to go on several other training to even understand the basic fundamentals of management. And if you don't, it's like getting to the house. I call a family meeting to say everybody should know that I'm the head of the family. It means you have lost it. If you have to remember, if you have to remind everybody in your house that look at the head of the family, then there's a crisis already. So for me, when we define capacity, we need to look at capacity from even the curriculum that we use to train. Be it doctors, be it nurses, do we understand these fundamentals that will define our investment approach and provide leadership so that we think systematically and do appropriately?
Thank you very much.
The last one. There are three fundamentals. It's about the system. It's about the system. The system we operate. Primary care is the health system requirement of 80% of the population. You give that to a tier of government called local government that takes 1/774 of 20%. Hello, are we calculating it? Each local government is 1 out of 774 local governments. 774 local government takes only 20% of federal allocation. The government that takes 52%, says the one that takes 1/774 managed primary care. We can't get it right, so I stop at that point.
Dr. Omar, I'd like to hear your own experience from Kwara State, see whether the challenges are much the same.
I'm representing the Honorable Commissioner for Health, Kwara State. So I'm going
I want to hear your voice.
As regards discussion we've been having, I've been here since the beginning. As you said, right, we talked about access to healthcare, IT, and innovation. Well, I will give a breakdown on how Kwara State is. Kwara State, 2016, we have a projected population of about 3 million. We have about 400 primary healthcare centers. These PHCs include basic care centers, not PHCs. We have 14 general hospitals. We have 3 specialist hospitals, and we have 1 tertiary hospital. That's the University of Ilorin Teaching Hospital. The population I mentioned earlier, 3 million projected. I would like to thank PharmAccess and IGEA, for the partnership we've done, because at least since 2007, when we started the healthcare insurance, complete healthcare insurance in Kwara State, they've been able to cover about 140,000 people in Kwara State since 2007. Well, the theme of this topic is about the poor, and I guess Kwara State was able to recognize that the poor needs help, and so the immediate past governor actually adopted the health insurance scheme quickly and started running. But like the Honorable Commissioners here earlier said, finance has been a big problem. Funding to the health sector has been a big problem. And I'm sure it's very clear from the coverage we've just had, that's 140,000 out of about 3 million people in Kwara State. And we all need to have access to healthcare. And we just have 140 covered by health insurance. And the remaining still doing out-of-pocket payments. I think as regards IT, we are also very backward. The Honorable Commissioner for Health Lagos State mentioned about recruitment of health record officers. I can tell you, most doctors too are not that IT compliant. And there's a lot going on in the world of technology as regards healthcare system, and also it's difficult, very, very difficult to actually integrate IT into healthcare system, because healthcare system is complex. It's complex in the sense that even the human resource in health, we are finding it difficult to integrate within ourselves. The doctors, nurses, pharmacists, always at loggerheads. There are other areas in the health sector. We have the records, we have the A&E, we have the word. How do you want to bring technology into the system so that it works perfectly? Again, the issue of ethical practices in the healthcare system. You bring in technology, you have patients' information. How do you share it? Is it allowed? I think those issues are there to look at. I think we have very long way to go, and I think this forum is we're looking at that direction here.
And that's why we're here. Now, you have rightly identified several key challenges that are affecting healthcare delivery and sustainable strategies in your respective states. And I dare say that this cuts across all the other states in the country as well, because these are fundamental issues that are underlying the performance of the healthcare sector. What I would like to ask, and the opportunities that this forum is providing for you, is What are those specific initiatives on a state-by-state basis now, or strategies that you are undertaking to boost investments in the healthcare sector that will allow you access to certain funds to be able to meet some of the challenges that you have rightly observed here? If you have specific partnerships, specific initiatives that you've started, tell us about them so that in this vast audience that is available here, people can know in which areas they can assist you, as well as PharmAccess can also know in which areas that they can work with you to help drive some of these things. As much as, for instance, in Lagos State, I say there are over 3,000 private hospitals in Lagos, and there are 26, give or take, government hospitals. Yet the ratio of the 26 and the number that they treat and the access cannot be compared to the numbers when you put all 3,000 private institutions together. So there's something wrong somewhere. People are going to the government facilities because what? It's cheaper, it's not closer to them because some of them travel kilometers to get to the nearest government facility. But there's something that drives them in there because they feel it's free. Government has a way of dispersing, and the government doesn't have this. So what are those things that you are doing to boost this obvious lack of funding that you have to meet the challenges of the sector? The reason why we're asking this is because this is an opportunity for you to create partnerships, but we need to know what you're doing so that those who are involved here, people like PharmAccess, people like Tony Elumelu Foundation, Airtel, and several of the other institutions that are here can know specifically where they can come in and help you with some of the challenges that you have made.
Well, just in a nutshell, I think at this stage we are addressing something specific. That's basically has to be financing the system. In the past, I think for a couple of years, we all mentioned the issue of free health. Politically, yeah, it makes sense. And along that line, a law has already been passed, it was passed last year, July, to address that. And let me say again, that law is not perfect. I think that we need to start from somewhere and address those things. And the idea is that if you started with that, a number of things will be addressed to that constitute challenges to the system.